So first, guys, I want to talk about changing your report outline and your digital research cards into a paper. Okay. So the first thing I did, I already looked through my digital research cards and I looked at some of the quotes to see which ones I could use. Now I want to use at least 3 of my resources. I can't put in my works cited unless I've gotten something from it, and I have an in-text citation for it. So I went through and I said, okay, well, I have one for body paragraph 2, one for body paragraph 3, and I need to do the one for 4. I think I mismarked it, but I'll show you anyway how to do that. So I'm going to start with my evidence, okay? So I have a hook, or at least I have an idea of what I'm going to do as the hook. I may change this and do a quote about the devastation of the plague and things like that, and then see. I do have my thesis. I'll see if I have to change it. But I'm going to look for my evidence first to go into each one of my body paragraphs. Okay, so I had one body paragraph about background information, one about how does the plague affect us today and how it will affect us in the future. And then on the end, I was going to talk about the description, maybe like finish up the hook, like what would it be like, the future. I'm going to go into like the future having the bubonic plague come revisit us now, which is not too hard to imagine at the moment. So, all right, so let me go to, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to pause. I'm going to show you how to do the first couple. All right, so somewhere in here, I have at least one I was going to use for 2B. Okay, so this is a good one. Now, I may end up having 2 pieces of evidence, and that's good, though, because I can show you how that's going to look. So there's my evidence, one piece of evidence. Okay, and then I think I had found another one for 2B to use. Let's see. Let's see, I'm right. That's 3B. And I'm putting B because B is my evidence. I thought I found something else. 3. Okay, it looks like the third paragraph is where I plan on using more than one. Let's see. I may end up using another one too. Let's see. Definitely use that one for paragraph number 2. So I have evidence for there, and I may, as I go through, I don't want you to watch my whole, have to sit through my whole thinking process, but I'll explain it as I pause and then come back. All right. Then I have a few of them that I want to use in 3. Let's see. So I copied and pasted that one. Okay. I may want to I'm going to go ahead and use this one too. This one, actually, that would have been 2B. I don't know why. So I want to use this one, but so I'm going to have a separate evidence, by the way. I'm going to have 2 pieces of evidence. Let's see. And I might take away some of this in here. Actually, no. Let me move this. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put this quote here because this is one of the past. I'm actually going to use this in my hook. I'm going to move this because I think this is interesting. And it does talk about the devastation and how quickly it spread. All right, so I'm going to have that. And then, so now I'll come back, I'm going to show you how to do the analysis. And then I'm going to do the same thing for paragraph 3 and paragraph 4. I'm going to look for my evidence to go there and then see if is there anything else that I can use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and actually, since I plan on using these, and I want to make sure that I remembered I use them, I'm going to highlight them so that when I come back to them later and go to do my works cited page, I'm like, oh, I definitely used that and remember that I used that already. And I don't want to, so I can say, okay, I know which sources to put in my works cited page. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to go ahead and pause and I'll come back and I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead and put everything in its place, all my evidence, talk about it, and then I'm going to talk about analysis. Okay, so now that I'm back, I have evidence in all of my body paragraphs. I have used at least, or exactly, 3 of my my pieces. That's okay that, one of the resources I used was in the hook. That's okay. I've used the resource, and it's going to be something that's interesting and it's useful there. It does its duty. Now here in body paragraph 1, I have something strange, but it can happen, where I have the main idea, evidence, and I'm going to have analysis 1, then my second piece of evidence, analysis 2, and then like a transition to the next paragraph. Then I have my evidence for body paragraph 2, and where I'm going to model my analysis, and then I have body paragraph 3, and again where I'm going to now talk about my analysis. So how do we know analysis? When it comes to analysis, analysis is your opinion and the deeper meaning, not you restating, okay? You're not paraphrasing. It's not a place where you paraphrase the quote you just put in. What it is a place where you give your own opinion and you explain the significance of it and how it, what it means to everybody, and how why it's important. And also, you always need to come back to your thesis, okay? So let me remind myself what my thesis is, so I can connect this evidence and explain how this evidence proves my thesis. So my evidence is, many people think that the Black Death or bubonic plague has disappeared from real. What did I say? Real life? Reality, and only exists in history books. Yet the plague is here to stay and never really left us. We must arm ourselves with knowledge, perhaps prevent another dark ages. Before we can truly understand how the Black Death affects us today, we must know how it affected our past. One shocking realization. I do want to kind of, remember I need to give some kind of tag or in front of it, or, intro to the quote. I can't just plop the quote in, right? One shocking realization is that, and then in just 4 years, in the mid-14th century, the medieval pandemic of Black Death killed 17 to 28 million Europeans, or 30–40% of the total population, okay? So then I want to talk about, well, why is this significant? To lose that much of a population. For many of us today, 28 million can seem like a lot, but is a hard number to get our head around. One, meaning you or me, one can think of it like this. If the city of Houston has 3 million people in it, oops, I think coverage 3 million has 3 million people within it. If we killed everyone, or let's say if everyone in Houston died, we replaced them, and those people died, until we've done this 7 times, that would be that would give us an idea of the true significance. One, a lot of times I'll put one instead of I. Like I think, I would say, well, one has to think, or one thinks. One has to realize, or we have to realize, with so much of the population killed, let's see, how many years ago? Mid-14th century, so that's like 1300s, so killed over 700 years ago. Oh. I want to say around 700 years ago. What would Earth's population be today? We would certainly have over 7 billion people in the world. Then I have this other quote I want to include in there too, but I don't have analysis right over. To greater understand the significance of the plague, of this plague, you can see it see its effects closer to our own time. Let me comma here. All right. No disease is interrupted with such violence and such. Okay. Let me see what the name of this article is. I know it's by Marriott, so I'm going to come back to my here. Here's my Marriott one. That's Wells' oldest Marriott. In Return of the Black Death. Okay. Plague in Madagascar. All right. So, because I do want to introduce in Return of the Black Death, plague in Madagascar. The writer states, no disease recorded in history has carried the tectonic. I'm going to go ahead and I know he has this in caps. I'm not crazy about leaving it in caps. I could go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just fix this part. Normally, help if I spelled it right though. Okay, let's see. Get rid of. Okay, so and I have my quote. Okay. Okay. These. Okay. I wanna. So then I gotta analyze this. Okay. So after 6% long, it was a plague that destroyed 1/3 of Europe's population during the Black Death of the Middle Ages. Plague that swept through London in 1665. Plague that killed some 10 million Indians in the first 2 decades of the 20th century. So this plague is nothing to be. Nothing is I want to say not to be dismissed. We think it is gone, but here Marriott shows us that it was in the US or in India just last century. This is not just a Dark Ages monster. Okay. Because monster belongs to Dark Ages, right? Okay. So all right. And then that goes into, although the bubonic plague was death and carnivore ancestors, it is not totally disappeared. Okay, so that's going to go right after that sentence. Normally I like my analysis to actually be longer than my evidence. So like in this case it is, but this time in the case it isn't. I just can't think of what else to say, but it definitely should be more than like one sentence. It should be definitely, you'll notice that this is the fact and this is my opinion. So here he gives the fact of like how horrible it was, and then here's my opinion on how it shouldn't be dismissed. And that why, you know, and explaining why it needs to not be dismissed. Thank you. That would be the first part. So I'm going to go ahead. That's how you do analysis. And I'm going to do analysis for the other ones as well. Okay. So now I have filled out all the parts of my outline. I've put in an interesting quote as my hook. To help go from my hook to my thesis, I added a sentence to kind of help transition from one to the other. And then I have for each of my body paragraphs, I should have a main idea, evidence, and analysis. Remember, first body paragraph has 2 evidence. So it's main idea, evidence, analysis, evidence, analysis. Then I have a link sentence to help transition to my next idea. And then my second body paragraph, main idea, topic sentence, evidence. I went ahead and introduced each quote. I have analysis, link, main idea, evidence, analysis, link. Actually, I don't have a link here. That's okay though. If, I can kind of, if there's one place the link can definitely be is, I feel like this transition's fine enough right here between this paragraph and the conclusion. For my conclusion, I kind of like went over again what I talked about. And then I have my clincher, which is kind of just something that ties to what was told in the quote. I talked about what that could be like for the future. So now I have this, and I pretty much have my paper written, okay, but I can't turn it in like this. This is not my paper. Also, I'm gonna have to have a works cited page. So I'm gonna show you how to take this and turn it into, let me see, how to take this and turn it into an actual paper. So first, I'm just gonna go ahead and come over here and say File, and I'm gonna go new blank document. Okay, then I'm just going to press my favorite Control-A to select everything, Control-C to copy. I don't want to lose that, so I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to do Control-X, just Control-C, and Control-V to paste. Now, I need to remember MLA formatting first. Okay, I have this set up, but what's supposed to go up here in the top right-hand corner? So remember, I need to go to Insert, and I need to go to, of course, even just double clicking up there, I don't know if you noticed, when I double clicked up there for the header and footer, it did have page number, and so I could just click that too. And then I need the one over here on the right, and then I need to put my last name. You would do the same. Now notice, and this is just the little things that get on my nerves, notice that they changed it to Calibri. Well, that doesn't match the rest of the essay. This is in Times New Roman. I can't have this in one font and that in another font. It's just tacky, right? They clash. So I'm going to change this to Times New Roman. And I'm also going to make it 12-point font. Okay. So now on every page, I have my name and the page number. So you'll do the same for yours. Now another thing, I need to make sure for all of this, notice all of this is single space. Well, I can't use that. It has to be double spaced. So I'm going to just kind of copy. I'm going to highlight all that, just the stuff that's single spaced. I'm going to come up here for paragraph, and the paragraph thing, go for line spacing and change this to 2.0. Now, something else. Okay, I need to change this into paragraphs. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead actually, and I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to say none for the numbering. Okay. Okay, so I don't need the word intro paragraph, right? Everyone doesn't need to know this is my intro paragraph. I do need to move this over. So like, what do I do if this is all indented way over here? There is a button under paragraph that says decrease indent. I'm going to click that over to the left, and it's going to move it over to the left. Although I need it to line up with this. I'm going to press tab so I can have my paragraph indentation. I'm going to get rid of the word hook. Okay. Then I'm going to bring up this sentence. That was the transition sentence. I'm going to bring up my thesis. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that too. Bam. There's paragraph number 1, already written. Same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to get rid of, you don't need to tell me body paragraph. You don't need to put the word background information. One of the things you could do instead of doing indentation left is just click backspace right in front of it. Tab. My evidence should be right after that. Right. I'm going to get rid of this word analysis. Oops, I went too far. Okay, thanks. Control Z undo. Okay. All right. And same thing. I have 2 evidence in this one paragraph, and that's fine because the evidence are closely related to this topic sentence. So I can go ahead and put all this is still going to be one paragraph. It's going to look like a really long paragraph. Can I have a paragraph that long, Ms. Noblitt? Yes, you may. That's fine. As long as everything is purposed and it all goes together, that's completely okay. All right. It's not like, oh no, it's 5 sentences or it's this many lines and now I got to go to a new paragraph. That's not the way it is. It's about topic. Okay. All right. Now backspace, get rid of that. And again, so every sentence has its main idea, evidence, analysis, definitely. Okay. And so let me get this over. And, you know, there might be a faster way to do this. There probably is. I'm sure, like if I could just highlight just this part. Bam. Okay, that went over. Okay, link sentence, same thing. Okay. All right, so look, I'm already, what is this saying? Oh, it wants me to put it, okay. All right, again, I don't need this, this title thing. All right, I don't have subtitles in this essay in particular. And again, I'm going to add all this together. And it might be a little tedious, but I just want you to see as well, though, just to make sure, like, okay, that these are separate paragraphs, that it's like you're not doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's not going to be, because some people they'll like put the evidence in a complete paragraph by itself. That's not the way it's supposed to be. All right, this clincher is going to come right before or right after this. It's all one paragraph. Okay, oh, and let me get rid of this extra line. So I now have a 3-page essay. Look at that. It's all nice and double spaced. You can easily see that I have in-text citations. There's my in-text citations. You can see my direct quotes that I got from my research cards. And so I have a little essay here. Okay, is it the best essay? I'm sure it could be better. Now there's one more thing that has to happen. I can't turn this in as is. One, I should read it again. It's probably going to be messed up. 2, I have to have a works cited page. Okay, remember when we did when you did that assignment with your group, that one of the things was a works cited page. So I have to have a works cited page. Well, and it's going to be on a page all by itself. Okay, so I'm going to come up here. It's one of the easier ways. I'm going to go insert. Excuse me, and page break. Okay, that's just going to bring me down here. I'm going to come to home, and I'm going to center. Okay, and I'm going to write the word works cited. Oh, look at that. It changed I hate that. It changed me to Calibri. Like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Yes, change my font. Okay, anyway. All right, change this works cited. It's supposed to be works cited as well. All right, and where am I going to get the stuff that goes here on my works cited page? Well, I'm going to get it from my research cards. That's why we put this right here. I am only going to put things on my works cited of things I actually use. And for now, I'm just going to copy and paste them, and then I'll put them in alphabetical order. Oops, not Control X, Control Z. Control C, and come back here, Control V. I'm going to have to fix the indentation. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit, because it's supposed to be hanging indent. Okay. Then again, come back here. Where's another one I use? I use this one. Okay, Control C. That's definitely going to come after Marriott. All right, W is after Marriott, so I'll put that there. Then, oops, that's not what I want. Let's see, I know I used at least one more. Where are you at? So let me find it. Wasn't that one? No. I did use this one. I didn't highlight it. All right. See, gotta be careful. Okay. So Control C. Now I come over here, Control V. Now that started, this is the oldest. I'm not going to, for alphabetical order, I'm actually going to go by the second word, not the first word. When it's the word the, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the second word, which happens to be in the same order anyway. All right, now these things right now the indentions are all wrong. So let me go over here. I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to go paragraph. And instead of special first line, I'm going to click hanging. Okay, and then press OK. And now it looks like that, and that's the way it should look. I want to say, I'm going to have to look it up real quick, but I want to say this is supposed to be single spaced as well. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, I came over to the example essay I gave you guys, and I was like, let me double check, because sometimes these things change. I wanted to make sure they didn't change it to single space. Since the last time I used this, it does change from time to time. So, okay, it's going to stay double spaced. It's in alphabetical order, M-O-W. These are only the ones that I used. You need to make sure you use at least 3, right? And then I just copied and pasted this stuff. So that's why we use the Gale database stuff, by the way, because I already had this in here, and that makes it very helpful. When we do our persuasive paper, we'll have these more than likely, and then something else, because we're going to build onto this paper to make a persuasive paper, which will lighten our load. So So hopefully this helps, and I will have the example of all three things. I'll have an example of my finished, well, at least the finished outline, and I'll have an example of the essay so that you can see. Is this double spaced? Almost looks like it's too close together. I want to double check. There we go. It wasn't double spaced. What in the world? Okay. All right. That looks more than double spaced now. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. After I press enter, it does like that extra space afterwards. Or smooth. Okay. There we go. Now it's double spaced. Anyway, so that is our essay. I have all the parts that I need. I could, and I'm sure I could look at right now and make it better, because that's the you know, the joy of writing. It's always could be better. I have 5 paragraphs, so you just have kind of like your typical 5-paragraph essay. I indented. I have my page numbers. I have my works cited page. And so this is basically what you're going to hand in for your final report. Okay?